Should I sleep with my older colleague? I have been working at a company for almost a year now. 6 months ago, I was put in contact with a department manager who was struggling to manage his costs. We got along really well from the very beginning and became friends. We started meeting up at breaks and messaging on Teams. I didn't feel any interest toward him at first because I considered him to be too old for me, especially since he has 2 kids he's divorced. 2 weeks ago I was in his office and I don't exactly know how it happened, but we ended up kissing multiple times, pretty intensely. We had a moment yesterday as well. He brushed his lips against mine but nothing more. Today, however, he fully kissed me. I think he wants to sleep with me, and honestly I do too, but I don't know if we should. I know I don't want a relationship with him. I'm not looking for one right now. He has a certain thing about him though. I like being with him and I like that he shows interest. Thoughts? Edit. I forgot to mention that I work in Europe. Workplace relationships are way more acceptable here than in the US. I get where most of you are coming from, but I know at least 12 people at work who married a co-worker. Don't sleep with co-workers unless either of you is willing to leave the company if it doesn't work out. Company orgies are way better emo. Don't shit where you eat. No. Bro only wants you cause you're young and naive. I'm 29 and 23 would be on the low end of who I'd wanna get with. Just 2 completely different stages in life and experience levels. 42 is kinda creepy. My sister-in-law did this recently. Slept with a coworker who was married. As your divorced friend likely is. She got fired for eating a donut. They said she stole it. She worked in the bakery department. Don't date or sleep with a coworker, and don't sleep with someone old enough to be your father. Never, ever sleep with anyone at work. Golden rule, and it's only worst if she has a higher status than you. He's not your supervisor? You are attracted to him? Maybe discuss what each of you are looking for in this relationship. Tell him up front. You don't want serious life of fun. You're both adults. If there's an attraction there and neither of you is in a supervisory position over the other, you're free to act on it. I say go for it. I think it's perfectly fine. You only live once, as long as you both know what you're doing and have the same expectations for your relationship. You should talk about it honestly and set your boundaries. If you both want a friend with benefits type of situation, I don't see a problem. I wouldn't do it personally. He may be looking for something more serious, and he has kids, you know. You have your whole life ahead, but honestly if you wanna do it for the experience, then fuck it. LMK how it goes. I've honestly considered doing this. I'm 22F, but the dude's like 30 without kids. I think the part that stops me is the kids. Do not fish from the company pond. No opinion. Just a question. If he wasn't interested in you, would you be interested in him? Nope, been there done that. Don't do it. Worst mistake ever. Since you're leaving the company soon and if you just want to bang and he doesn't seem sketchy, I really don't see a problem with having some fun. If you're interested in a relationship, however, I personally think the age difference will pose too much of a problem. You're both in very different areas in your lives and it could be hard to relate to each other on a personal level. Empty sex regret. Let the relationship unfold or GTFO. If you're planning on leaving anyway, go for it. But don't leave your job because you want to go out with him without trouble. Otherwise, if you're leaving and want a fling, go for it. You're both adults. Interesting one. I always take older men women hitting on people that much younger as a sign that they are too immature, looking to manipulate someone who is naive, or can't get someone their own age. If you are absolutely certain that you won't let it go further than a little bit of fun, and you know enough about this guy to trust him, then go for it. But things are never as they seem, and before you know it you've wasted 2 years of your life in a weird relationship with a guy twice your age. Don't sleep with co-workers is unprofessional and stupid. Never dip your pen in the office ink. quick answer is no. It might not be the best idea because of the power imbalance with the age gap and professionally, but if you do, I'd wait until you leave the company. There's no chance for drama at that point. No. No. Absolutely not. Don't do it. Many people have already made this mistake for you. Learn their lesson and save yourself. No. I'm sure you'll be grateful later that you didn't. No. No. Never. No. The age gap, the fact you work together. There are just so many reasons to not continue this relationship. Also know that when it comes to irreversibly damaging your career, there's nothing worse for a woman than what you have described. Don't do it. No. No, don't do this to yourself. Old enough to be your dad. But no. Bad idea sleeping with a colleague. 19 years is not a small matter when it comes to coupling. Sex itself is fine, but if one person can't handle it, shit can get complicated. Then you add your work to it. You have to decide if this fling is worth the possible and probably shitstorm hitting your job. You already know that it's not a relationship you want, you admit that it would be strained from the get-go. On the other hand, it could be fun. But only if you both can handle being friends with benefits and be able to separate later. If you just want a fling, set the record straight from the start to manage expectations. If it feels right, go for it. While you're already kissing him, just make sure he's actually divorced and not just telling you that so he can sleep around. I saw in a comment where you were about to leave the company anyway. If you feel something there, go for it. Just be cautious, as I warn everyone entering into a relationship. From a neutral perspective, if you're prepared to deal with consequences thereafter, then whatever, but I would say work colleagues are a no-go despite how acceptable it may be. Not until after a leave. Make your intentions clear that you aren't looking for anything serious, and then just be safe when you do it, and it should be fine. Have that adult conversation. Don't let things get weird. Go have fun if that's what you want. As long as he isn't married, haha. Just be sure to not fall for him, BC he'll destroy your heart given the age difference and because he has 2 kids. I am your age and I was with someone his age. I played with fire and ended up burning myself. Don't. The age isn't the problem, you work together. It's not professional, could get you into trouble, and if it doesn't work out, one of you will have to go. You're asking Reddit if you should hook up with someone? Don't do it. You are young and people talk. It's fun, but especially with the age gap and being a woman, it's not worth it. Maybe after you don't work together, but even then I don't think it's a good idea. Yes. Hell yeah, dude. If you both agree it's just sex, I'd say that's cool. If you sense any feelings on his side or think you could develop feelings, it's not a great idea. Like platonic sex doesn't have to be a huge thing, but it's hard to tell sometimes whether it's really platonic or not. You don't want to cause unwanted stress when going to work for the rest of the time you're there. If he's hot, yeah. If you're leaving that job soon, and he's not your supervisor, and you want to do it, go ahead. So what if he's older? You're an adult. Bang who you want. Reading your responses, I say go for it if you get along well, and he seems like a good decent human, then have fun and enjoy yourself. Side note, there's a few things that work in your favor here. Although some may disagree. These are just my observations. First, being divorced. There's a good chance he's going to really be appreciative of you and make the effort to make sure you're happy. Second, older men tend to be more experienced in the bedroom, resulting in a more satisfying experience overall. Invite me.